Welcome to the Social Stack, your go-to channel for social media and marketing tips and tricks. I'm Amy Stack, and today we are recording Ask Amy, a bi-weekly session offering a place to bring your questions concerning our marketing topic of the week. Today's topic is video in your real estate business. So before we get started, if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about marketing based in technology for your business, start now by subscribing to my channel. Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and then make sure to click the bell icon to receive new content notifications. I want to thank all of you guys for being here today. Like I said earlier, this is definitely an interactive course, so it's more of a Q&A, not just as the name says, Ask Amy. So we don't have a super defined outline, but I did put together some topics that I get asked about a lot. So if you're not sure what your questions are, maybe this will help inspire that, but we're definitely here to dig into what you guys need for your business. So let's see, does anybody, before I throw out topic ideas, was there anything any of you guys were hoping to get out of today's session going forward? Just kind of seeing who's asking what.
I would like to know, is there a frequency with which you should be communicating with your clients via video, or is that up to each individual?
Good question. Okay, so I would definitely say that's going to be based on your marketing plan. And there's different ways to communicate with video, right, Patty? That's one of the things you had said, is to communicate with your clients. So that's, to me, sounds like more of like a one-on-one communication versus a marketing through video. So those are two different ways to approach it. Anything that you can standardize through video and share with your clients, I recommend doing that. That can save you guys a lot of time. Video can be leverage for you in your own business, so not just marketing related. For example, if you find yourself answering the same questions over and over to clients, you can do a little video of yourself recording frequently asked questions for buyers or during the buyer process, or for people that are thinking of listing. If part of your listing presentation is the same information over and over, you can record a video and send that as a pre-listing presentation. And then when you meet with them, they would have already gotten that information, and you can then ask the questions that you need to be able to better serve those clients and see what their needs really are and dig into that. Did that help answer that question, Patty?
Yes, and it put some more ideas in my head about how to use it.
Perfect. All right. Does anybody else have anything that they wanted to definitely get out of today? Just kind of, okay, well, let me give you some of the topics that I had come up with that I get a lot of questions about. And if we pick some to dig into, we'll go on and do that. So I get a lot of questions about video editing. So how to edit, like what types of apps and programs, equipment, what type of equipment should I use? I'm just starting out, what do I need? I'm trying to level up, what should I be looking into? Just general lighting and sound tips. We could talk about how to get comfortable on camera. You know, we're on camera right now, so that's step one. You guys did it. I see all your beautiful faces, so that's fantastic. But that is step one, is to get comfortable on camera. It's just to go do it. But we can talk more about that. And then general tools and everything. So is there any of those things that you guys really want to dig into? What are you guys wanting to do with video? Maybe we should start with that.
Yeah, hi Amy. I've actually started my own little series for posting online, social, Facebook and Instagram. And I would like to know how to connect with the most number of people. Would you recommend using like emojis and things like that? And
so like when you're sharing out your videos?
Yeah, like, when you're writing a little blurb about them. And I also started YouTube as well. So how do you get subscribers for that?
All right. Just so you guys all know, I did enroll in a YouTube coaching program, so I've been taking that for the past few weeks. So I hope to have lots of good tidbits and information to share with you guys going forward, because I have my own channel too. So I figured if I'm doing it and I can share with you guys, even better. So those are
just an FYI. Diane has gone crazy and is on the on a camera every chance you can get.
That's good. That's how you get comfortable.
And
That's
we
what
love
I
it.
was doing. That's why I was 5 minutes late for this. I forgot the time. Sorry.
That's okay.
Just
Sorry,
teasing,
Patty.
Diane.
Yeah. Well, those are definitely some great questions. Was there anything else, or should we just start digging into that?
Yeah, Amy, real fast for us, I would love my agents, so I'm the admin for the Ben Kinney team here in the office, and I would love for our agents on our team to do more video and do stuff more on their own on social media. And when I've brought it up to them, they have all of these excuses. I'm like, well, I don't know how to do this, and I don't know how to do that, and I don't know the tech stuff, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, I don't know either. So I don't know how to handle that.
So we'll just get into some getting started
Yeah.
tips. Number
Yeah,
one.
yeah, just tips that I can pass on, be like, hey, it's really not that scary. You can do it.
Exactly, right? You gotta be positive, you gotta stay optimistic. So let's start at the beginning, and then we'll work our way up to Diane's question with like blasting everything out and how to get you know, the most eyes on your videos. So number one, as I already said, is you gotta get over the fear of the camera, right? You just gotta get in there and do it. I do recommend taking a quick look, doing a quick little test before you go live. Make sure there's nothing in your teeth, right? Make sure that your audio, you can actually hear it once you record it. If you're just doing a little video, you know, like a selfie video on your phone like this, pretty much that's gonna work, right? You don't really have to test that, but you still wanna check, make sure you don't have like a piece of hair sticking out or, you know, something like that. So that's number one. But other than that, you don't have to worry about getting all your makeup done or wearing the perfect outfit or anything like that. Just get out there and do it. I do frequently recommend that if you're doing a professional, like if you're doing more stuff for YouTube, you want to be a little bit more stylized with that, because that's typically that tends to be more of like a demonstration, a more formal class, something like that. Now, if it is a fun, like kitschy video, then that doesn't matter. But when you're going live on Facebook or Instagram, or, you know, you're doing Snapchat, TikTok, any of those things, it's okay if there's little mistakes. It doesn't matter. And people don't realize how few people actually see their videos. I don't want this to be a deterrent, but it's not like the whole world is looking at your video. And especially when you're starting, you're not going to have a huge audience. Just the people that you know and love are going to be watching you, and might not even watch you unless you tell them to, right? So it's just a way to practice and get in front of the camera. Another tip for that is to look into the lens. So when you are talking through a tutorial, or even just saying, you know, I'm at this house, look at these great, you know, windows or all these awesome features, whatever it is. When you're talking to your audience, make sure you're looking into the camera lens, because it really helps give that eye-to-eye contact that you would have in real life. So it seems a lot more personal. And for today, I am talking to a group of you, so I'm saying you guys and stuff like that. But if I'm recording a video just for a tutorial, or as you know, I'm doing a showing in a house or something like that, talk to the camera as you're talking to an individual person, and that will really help build that connection as well. So it comes off as a little bit more personal, and they feel like you're talking right to them. Okay, so there's a couple of just like getting on camera and how to go. Meg, when they're saying they're not sure how to do this and how to do that, is that like editing, or what is it that they're saying when it comes to that type of stuff?
Yeah, I'd say editing. I know one of them had tried to do like a video for a virtual open house, or an open house they were doing, and they had to keep doing it over and over again because they didn't know how to go back and edit it later. So that kind of deterred them from wanting to do it again.
Okay, so when you're doing pre-recorded stuff like that, I always recommend having a script, whether it's a full written out script or note cards with bullet points, just something to keep you on track. One, you're not going to go off onto tangents and everything, but two, you won't forget what points you wanted to make. So that helps. That's very helpful when you're trying to do something that is, you know, prepped ahead of time and not necessarily just a off the cuff type of video. For people using their phones as videos, by the way, that's really all you need to start is a smartphone. You don't have to go out and get a whole bunch of technology. you can use, so I have an iPhone. iPhones come with iMovie. I'm looking at my folder of video apps right now. So you can use iMovie right on your iPhone. For all phones, I believe Lumen 5 is for Android and iOS. That's a great video editing app. And then Boosted is a nice one too. And then Promote. And all of these do different things. Some of them you take the video through the app. Some of them you take the video on your phone and then go back and edit. So these are just different things that I'm aware of, and it just kind of depends on what your end goal is. But another really good one is Video Shop. It's all one word, and I'll show you guys. These are the apps I have. That's what they look like. So those are the ones I use the most. Clips just comes with an iPhone. I don't really use that one, but the rest of them I've used. So
Video Shot or Shop?
S-H-O-P. So they all do different things, just depends on, what it is, what your end goal is. And then one thing that I want to do a little tangent, and we'll see if you guys want to talk about this more as well. So far, everything we've been talking about has been us being on camera. And there's another side of video and marketing too, is making videos that are faceless, because it still grabs the attention. It stops the scroll. Do you guys know what I mean when I say stop the scroll? Somebody's going through social media, right? Go scroll, and they see a video, they stop because they want to look at it. It doesn't have to be you. It can be like a slideshow presentation of a house, or I do a lot of videos in our office that are graphics.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think.
There we go. So I'll do like animated graphics. So it's not necessarily totally new content from what you've been producing before. You're just adding a little bit extra to make it stick out a little bit more. So I really like Canva. And I use Canva Pro because you get extra stock footage and stuff, and they have, not only you get extra fonts and everything, but Canva has stock video that you can layer in to the background of different things. I'm looking for my link real quick here. There we go. So if anybody is interested in signing up for a pro account, so you can get Canva for free. You just get more with the pro account. You can do extra feature editing and stuff like that. I'm gonna just put my affiliate link in the chat right there, and I'll put it in the description of the video too. But what's really nice about it is that you can take a static image and add animation to it. And I'm just gonna pull up my account real quick, and I'll do a screen share so I can show you what that looks like. And that's a nice way to start doing some sort of video even without you being on camera, and just kind of incorporating that into your business. So it's loading really quick here. Let's see. All right. Do a little shout out to our friend Jeff in the office. Jeff's business is up, so I just did a cute little video that we're going to share on social next week for him. And the page is loading. Can you guys see my screen, my Canva screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So this is what it looks like. And this background, let me move this up. Sorry, my Zoom stuff's in the way here. This background is actually a video. So if I click on it, it's still loading. It's hard when I'm trying to be on video and show a video. My computer doesn't love it. So this background will be moving all the time. And then see how I have this on Rise right here? I can choose all of these different types of animations. So Rise means that those words are gonna like float up the screen. Now I could use this just as a static image, but why do that when I can have this video element in the background and have those fly across the screen? They're more eye-catching, right? That's gonna help stop the scroll. You guys have probably heard me say this before, but in the world of content, video is king. You know why? Because it's eye-catching. It's something different. You see video all over social media, but you don't realize that 90% of the time the video is advertisement. It's not personal posts. So if you are getting out there with video yourself, that's really going to help set you apart from other people. Let's see if this will load. So here we go. Oh, it's going slow, but you guys will get the idea. See how it's running through in the background that whole time?
That's cool.
So that's just one thing you can do with Canva, but you can take any image that you've already created and just add some animation to it. You don't have to have video stock in there. And you can add your own, if you do create your own content, you can bring that in there as well. So if you guys want to talk, oh, go ahead.
I'm
Say
sorry.
that again.
Does Canva have tutorials on their site? I haven't dug in very much.
Yep, they have lots of tutorials. I have a couple on my YouTube channel, but not a bunch just because there is a ton out there. And if we one day wanted to like really just dive into Canva, I could do a class on that too. I use it all the time. I love it. But yeah, good question. So I just wanted to bring that up, that you guys, when we're talking about video, it doesn't exclusively have to be your face on camera. So that's another way to incorporate it into your business. So Meg, we talked about apps. We talked a little bit about like getting used to being in front of the camera. Some other good tips for getting started is to make sure that your lighting is good and that your sound quality is decent, right? When you guys are talking about upgrading equipment or anything like that, like I said, start with your smartphone. You don't have to buy a whole fancy camera. You can just use your phone these days and get going with that. If you really think you need to invest into something, the first place you want to invest is sound quality. So you want to get a good mic. People will watch a video that they can't see very well, but they will not listen to one they can't hear. So sound is key. That's number one if you're going to be putting, investment into equipment, is to make sure you've got a good mic. Is anybody here using actual cameras, or are you using more webcams and cell phones right now? All the answers are fine. There's nothing wrong with any of those options.
Cell phone, iPhone.
Okay, let me put in a link in the chat here to this lavalier mic.
I was just going to ask if we should have a walk around mic or have something more stationary.
Well, and that's a good question too. It depends on what your content is. If you're interviewing people, like you're going out to shop owners and talking, or local business owners, and you're interviewing them about what's going on in town, you need a mic that you can pass back and forth, right? If it's just you on camera, you just put a little lavalier mic on your shirt and call it a day. So I have a few links that I can share. I just put one in the chat. I always forget it doesn't give you a preview. The one that I just put in there is a link to a lavalier mic that you can link right into your phone. So I'll put some links in the description of the video when I post it on YouTube to get you guys some suggestions on where to go. Meg asked me what type of mic do I use. I use a condenser mic. The brand that I'm using is Toner. I'm actually not using it right now. I use it when I'm at home. I didn't bring it to work with me. So I'm just using my Mac right now. But you can definitely tell the difference. So the two main types of mics are dynamic mics and condenser mics. So if you're worried about a lot of background noise and echoing, you want a dynamic mic. Those are ones that you'll probably see in the shot. You got to talk close to them, but that's how it tones out all of that background noise. So if you're doing interviews and stuff, that's what you want, is a dynamic mic. A condenser mic is one that will pick up everything. So if you're doing like music that you want to keep in the background, that's where you would want to go more that direction with the mic. The other thing to think about is mics that have some sort of filter or like the little muff on it. Mine has options. I have a little foam guy that sticks on top of it, and I have a pop filter. So what a pop filter does is, you see when I say P, you get all that extra like breathiness when you're talking, or any of those hard letters. Now I'm not talking right into the mic, so it's not as bad, but if you are getting a mic that you're actually speaking into like this, and you're gonna get all that air pushed into your mic. So the pop filter will filter out the air, but still get the sound. So look for, and they're usually it's just like a little round screen that goes in front of the mic, and a lot of mics come with them. So that's just something to look into if you're going to purchase a And then some other sound tips for you guys, even without mics, is that you can always, if you're recording at home or something and it's kind of an echoey room, you can fill the room with like blankets on the floor, and that'll help absorb some sound. So you can do stuff like that too before going out and investing into any equipment. There's lots of little tips and things you can do like that, tricks to up your sound quality without purchasing new equipment.
So would that work for if you're doing a video of a vacant home, to bring blankets and things with you to do that?
It's going to depend on how big the room is, of course, but if you're in, like, my office is pretty small here, although it's not echoey. I've got stuff on the walls, but if I was in a space like this and it was totally empty and sound is bouncing all over the place, you can bring like blankets or towels and just kind of put them around, and that'll help absorb the sound. It's the same idea as having, you guys ever see in sound studios, they have those like foam things on the wall that are spiky? That's what they do. It's the same thing. Yeah. So then the other thing is lighting. So you can see we actually don't have quite as sunny of a day as we usually do when I'm doing these classes. I'm standing in front of a window, so that's what's coming onto my face right here. So my desk is a corner desk. So if I was facing the window head on, I would have all that nice light right on my face. You see, it's easier to see me now that I'm facing this way versus this way, right? Maybe I can adjust my blinds a little. Let's see. Look, I just fixed my lighting for free. So you can do stuff like that. Make sure if you are doing natural light, you're facing it. You don't want the light behind you because that'll kind of wash you out. It'll make you fade into the background a little bit. Do you think I saved my blinds like that on purpose to show you guys? So that's one trick, is to take advantage of that natural light. You guys, you can get a selfie light. You can get one of those ring lights. I have at my desk set up at home, I actually have an old nightstand lamp that I wasn't using that I just put on the shelf above my computer, and I turn that on. And I use a warm light setting on it. It's got like 4 different tones of light. So the warm lights kind of help soften everything up as well. So if you're looking into lighting, you can look into something like that. But simply for phones, they have lights that literally just clip right on top. They also have mics that you can plug in to the bottom if you don't want that lavalier mic. They have mics that you can plug into the bottom, so while you're filming, it's facing you to catch your sound as well. There's lots of different things out there. Like I said, I'll put some links to some recommended stuff in the video description when that goes live. Does that give you guys a good start for equipment and some tips? Okay. What else can I help you guys with?
I am a preschool teacher, and I am looking to do a video, but I wanted it to be kind of not really animated, but I wanted to put my own spin to it just to introduce myself. So I was wondering, is a more like professional approach, does, you know, buyers and sellers take you more serious that way, or to kind of like give some, you know, flavor, or, you know, I'm trying to find a good word, but
you know, put your personality.
Fun. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything you do with video, marketing, social media, all of it, you want to put your own touch, your own fingerprint on there, because you want to come off as authentic. Not everybody is going to love everything you do, and that's okay. You probably don't want to work with them anyways, right? It's a way to
That is true. That is true.
You know, eventually you'll get to the point, if you're consistent and you keep doing this, you will get to the point where you're going to get a call from somebody, or you're going to be prospecting, and they're going to feel like they're the one that's being honored by being able to work with you, because they already know all about you, because you've been putting all your information out, you've been on social media, you've created a presence, you put your videos out there, and they feel like they're connected to you already without even having met you. So yeah, you'll get to that point, but you'll never get there if you're not authentic, right? You don't want somebody to feel like they know you and then meet you in person and you're like, this isn't the person that I saw in all those videos. right? You don't want that.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah, so absolutely put your own little spin on it.
Okay.
And it'll just be easier for you because you're not putting on, you know, a mask. You're just being you.
Right. You're right.
Good question. All right, anything else? What else can I share with you guys today?
What are some ideas or like brainstorm topics that maybe an agent could do videos on, whether they're like the quick selfie, like Facebook Live ones, or a more formal one? Do you have some that you think are either really good or haven't seen and would be really cool to do?
Good question. Yeah, topics are always, some people struggle a lot with coming up with content, like what should they talk about? To help with that, I definitely recommend figuring out what your niche is first. To do that, you want to, like, real estate is one big world. Like, yes, real estate is in itself a focus, but you can really drill down from in there. So you need to understand what your why is behind your business, and that'll come out in your videos. So start with that, figuring out what you want to focus on professionally, and that will start to help inspire you what videos you can create from there. So does anybody have a specialty already on here that they're working at building a specific niche in? Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to come from, you know, being Keller Williams contribution. So I'm trying to help my local businesses by kind of going around my area, my neighborhood. And even if I'm out doing shopping, I'll stop and do a quick video just to, you know, point out, hey, I'm at Crema Coffee. Come on down, check out the Lumberjack Latte. It's awesome. Like things like that. It doesn't have to be a big, long, drawn-out process.
No, it doesn't. You're 100% correct. So that's one way to just kind of get inspiration on the go. And like I said, those types of videos are perfect for stories or like little short Facebook Lives here and there. And then you could even sit down and take the time to set up an interview with that shop owner in the future and do a more in-depth piece with them. So then it could be like a two-part thing. You're like, hey, if you saw my little, you know, my story last week, we're going to learn more about that owner and that business today. And that, Diane, is a really good way to help build up the fact, to help build to your audience, to put some emphasis on the fact that you're that local expert. You are ingrained in the town. You are invested with helping these local businesses keep up and running, especially with everything that's going on today, right? So that's going to just show, like you said, that you're coming from contribution. You're not necessarily asking for anything in return. Obviously, when you are talking with them, they're going to be appreciative that you're helping spread the word about their business, and we'll think of you if somebody comes across their path that might be looking to buy or sell, and then they can give them your name. So that's how you can just build referrals that way as well. Some other things, let's see. Does anybody work with first-time home buyers? Yeah? Okay, so that's a good niche to get into as well. So that's one thing where, you know, first-time home buyers have lots of questions. They don't know what they don't know. So you could do a video talking about top 10 tips for first-time home buyers. You could break it up and do, you know, tips about finances, how to get your finances in order, tips about figuring out where you want to live or what you actually need in a house, and you could break it up into little videos about that. A really great way to find content ideas is to actually use Google and YouTube and do a reverse search. So pretend that you are, put yourself in the prospective viewer's shoes. You're a first-time home buyer. What do you go look for on the internet? So if you start typing in those questions on YouTube or Google, it will autofill for you, and you'll be able to see what people are asking, and that's what you make your video on. Isn't that a fun little tip?
Yes, it is. Mhm.
Another quick tip is, let me pull up another screen and I'll do a screen share for you. For when you're searching for content ideas is, oops, I pulled up my wrong screen here, is to use a system like TubeBuddy or vidIQ. And I have links for those guys as well. I can put in the description of the video. Let me go ahead and share my screen. And here's a blank screen. Okay, you guys just see my Google search right now?
Yes.
Okay. Gotta move my Zoom screen again. Okay. So using systems like that, vidIQ, it's just VIDIQ, and then TubeBuddy, tube like YouTube, and then Buddy, BUDDY. They both have free accounts that you can sign up for, and like paid and pro levels and stuff like that too. But they can help you come up with, I should be logged in, keywords that are popular. So this is just a great tool to be aware of. So I'm just going to go into vidIQ. It should just pull up my account for us here. And while this is loading, some good tips for video content is to tell people in the title of your video, obviously what you're covering, but tell them it's 10 tips or how many bullet points or what the end goal is of the video so that they stay through to the end. If you just say you're going to share tips about home buying for first-time home buyers and they have no idea how long the video is going to be or what content you're covering, they might just dip out halfway through. So if you tell them you're going to do 10 tips and they're on tip 6 and they're like, okay, 4 more tips to go, they're more likely to be, sticking around for you. I want to show you, this is my channel, my analytics right here for the past few days. Let's do search. And oops, I hit the wrong button. We want to do search, and then so right here I'm on keyword search. So I can just type in real estate and see what comes up. So here I'm on vidIQ, you can see up here. So real estate, there's a search volume of over 400,000 searches a day. It's got a search score of 72, competition of 42, and overall of 64. So you can hover over all of these question marks and see what that means. So for example, with search volume, obviously you want this to be high, right? You want people to be looking for the stuff that you're putting in your videos. But search score, you can see again, it says a higher number is better. Competition, you're gonna want a lower number. So like these are better competition-wise, but look at how much less people are searching for those keywords and the search scores are lower. So that can just kind of help you target what words you want to keep in your titles and stuff like that. So that's another resource for you guys. I figured that was easier to see than me just tell you. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to show you. So unrelated to vidIQ, but still for searching. I don't know if you guys are aware of this trick, but when you go on YouTube or Google or anything like that, in the search bar, so this goes back to that idea we were talking about with searching as the client, right, as the viewer. It's gotta load. You can actually do this cool thing where you can type in a letter and then the underscore and then the rest of your content. So if you know you want to talk about real estate, and you do something like this, it will start to auto-populate things that start with A that have real estate incorporated into the search. So you can do that for any letter. See how that works? So that can help you come up with content ideas too. So maybe J is a hard one for that. So we were just talking about first-time homebuyer. Arizona, advice for a first-time homer. Atlanta, Arkansas. So you see these are a lot of, places. But you can see how that feature works, that search feature. So that will be helpful for you guys too to help see what people are searching out there. You can see here, this little TB, that's my TubeBuddy program that I have in there. So if you guys do sign up for one of those free accounts, you can actually see what other people have done with their videos. So as far as like tagging and how their videos are performing. So if you find a video that you really like, let's see, how to buy a house here. Let's see what comes up for that. So our #1 ranked video here, 27 minutes long. I'm just gonna pause it. We don't actually need it to play. And right here, my analytics are loading. So both of these guys, TubeBuddy and vidIQ, are just little Chrome plugins, so you can put them on any device. We'll wait for that to load. We'll come back to it. Sorry about that. I know it's hard when I'm running all these videos at the same time. So I'll come back to that. We'll see. Oh, of course, when I stopped screen sharing, it went up right away. All right, here we go. So you can see this video has 604,000 views. It's got all these comments. You can see all the things that they're doing, including what tags they're using when they upload their video. So the tags, if you're uploading to YouTube, you have an opportunity to add tags to your video, which would be search terms. So this is what they're using. So if you're doing the same type of video, how to buy a home, you can see what tags somebody else is using, and then go ahead and use the ones that are applicable to you in your video as well to help get that ranking to show up earlier in the YouTube searches. So that's
Okay,
a little
so
bit about tools. Yeah.
When you're establishing your YouTube page, does YouTube take you through how to set that up, or would you think that it's best to try doing Facebook or Instagram live first and then, you know?
So are you using anything right now, social-wise?
Yeah, I occasionally go on Facebook, you know, just under my personal page, but I really like Instagram, so that's more so what I'm, you know, flipping through.
Then you want to start on Instagram because that's what you're comfortable with and that's what you're already using.
Okay.
Now that doesn't mean that you shouldn't go out and grab your name on all the platforms. Just don't advertise them if you're not putting stuff out there.
Okay, I got you. And then as far as like Twitter, I don't know how to use Twitter at all. Is that like a necessary social media platform that I really want to learn how to navigate?
So none of them are necessary, right?
Okay.
You make it work for what which platforms you like and you're comfortable with.
Okay.
Some of this will be a repeat for some of the people here, but it's never hurts to sink this idea in again. Whenever you're starting somewhere with marketing, you want to start where you're already comfortable and build from there. Make your system around that platform. So for you, it sounds like Instagram. Make your system there, and when you're strong and you feel like you can keep it going without, you know, it's kind of back of mind, right? It's just, you're just making it run because you're used to doing it. Bring in another platform, and then you can add on to it that way. Now, if you're already really comfortable with Instagram and you're ready for that next thing, go ahead, hop into YouTube or make your Facebook more robust or try out Twitter. They all have different people, ages, demographics, you know, all that. They're different on every platform. So if you are looking to grow into another one, maybe do a little research on where your target audience is and then learn that platform because they're already there instead of trying to get them to come to a new platform.
Okay. And then I have my personal Instagram account, but should I go ahead and open up a new one for my new real estate career, or what would be your suggestion as far as like marketing that?
That's definitely, again, going to be a personal decision. I have done a video on personal versus business Instagrams. So that's on my channel, and I think it's just called business versus personal.
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
But so the reason there's benefits to each and there's cons to each. So a huge thing about a business Instagram is you have access to all the analytics. So if you don't know what's performing well, you don't know what to recreate and what to stop doing.
Okay.
So that's a huge benefit of the Instagram business account, is that you have the analytics. Same thing with Facebook. YouTube, always you have analytics. There is no personal and business YouTube. There's just different channels.
Okay. Got
Um,
it.
But yeah, so you can do either. There are a lot of influencers that are on Instagram that just use a personal account.
Okay.
So it, like I said, it depends on what you want to have access to. There's been some, I guess, conjecture out there that Instagram personal accounts are more easy to use, as far as they're easier to grow organically, because
Okay.
with businesses you can pay for advertising. You can't do that on a personal account. So the theory
okay.
is that it's easier to grow a personal one because they're not trying to get you to pay for advertising. Whether or not that's true, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Got you. Got you.
But yeah, you can, you've been talking about Instagram. Have you done stories with your video stories at all?
Yeah, with my personal, yeah, I definitely have. So I'm just trying to make sure that the content that I'm posting, you know, kind of previously to, you know, this new career in real estate doesn't really affect what people are scrolling through, like, oh, you know, because I've had Instagram for about 5 or 6 years,
Mm-hmm.
you know, coming out of my college year. So it's a lot of party stuff on there. So
yeah, so
I'm
that's something to consider too. If you want to start fresh, that's totally fine.
Okay.
Just know that, because you already have some sort of following, you can get them to come over with your new venture.
Got it.
And then with Instagram, you know, we've got stories we've talked about. There's also IGTV for long format videos.
Yeah.
And came out with Reels too. That's kind of a competitor to TikTok. So there's a lot of video options in Instagram. And you can also embed, you can post a video if it's less than 60 seconds on your main feed too. So you can use video pretty much anywhere on Instagram.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right. Meg, did I answer all of your last question? I know I kind of went off on a tangent there.
Yeah, you're good. I just have a logistical question. So if I post a video, whether an agent makes it or a team makes it or whatever, onto our YouTube channel, we can share that onto our business Facebook page, correct? And that's jazz. Would the agent be able to, say, share that YouTube video directly onto their personal page, or would it have to be like from YouTube to Facebook, from Facebook on our business page to their personal page? Like, how does that work?
Do you mean like logistically or compliance-wise, or both?
Both.
So,
because I want to make sure we're all in compliance too. So normally for me, whenever I do any marketing stuff, no matter whether it is something for the agent to post or team or whatever, I always have all those logos no matter what, because I don't want to get in trouble.
right.
So with the videos, my thought process was, no matter what it is, again, we have those logos on the video, not necessarily just on the name of the channel or Facebook page or whatever. Again, because however it gets shared, it's still on there.
Exactly. And that's a great idea. And one of the things you can do if you're building out YouTube is you can actually watermark your logo onto every video through the setup of YouTube. So that's another conversation, but that is something you can do.
Cool. So I wouldn't have to put it on there originally. It would just be when I upload the video to YouTube. Oh, that's cool.
So if you peek at my channel, you'll be able to see I actually have the subscribe button watermarked onto all my videos, but you can put your own logos in there.
Gotcha.
So for compliance purposes, to be the safest possible, yes, absolutely do your whatever your state rules are, right, with logos and everything, and just brokerage awareness, put those in the video, whether it's the beginning or the end. You guys can go on a site like Fiverr and have somebody make a video intro for you that you can just add to the beginning of all of your videos, or an outro, or both, and just use the same one over and over.
I was going to ask so we just have the free version of Canva. You touched on Canva earlier.
Yeah.
Right now when I because they have the video option, you drop that in there, and then when you put your logo on, it stays on there the entire length of the video. is there a way to have it like what you just said, where it's like an intro slide or whatever within Canva or at the end?
I haven't played with that in Canva at all. I have used a program called InVideo, and again, it's one of those freemium ones where there's a free level and you can upgrade as you want. And then it is just it'll make like a little intro or an outro that you can with
What
your
is that
video
called?
editing. It's just called InVideo, InVideo.
Okay.
There's lots of different things you can do with it. They have different templates and stuff too. Now you can really get lost in that, spend a lot of time on it.
All I'm looking for is that intro little thing. 'Cause, like the video, I mean, I don't need it to be like there the entire time,
Right.
right? Like
No.
just at the end, even something where it's at the end of the video and it's like contact us.
Mhm.
Like I'd love to have that just like pop up there,
Yeah,
the phone number
exactly.
or whatever it is with the logos.
Yeah, check out InVideo. I think you might like that one. So for compliance wise, we talked about that and making sure that all of your state rules are met at the beginning or the end of the video so that they're on there. I always, beginning's best, right? I guess beginning is good. Having it in both places is probably best, right? But as far as sharing goes, a lot of platforms don't want you to share business stuff directly to your personal page, right? Because they don't want people to feel like you're spamming them. So sharing it to your business page first and then sharing from your business page is a great idea always. But it's stuff like this isn't necessarily, unless somebody's really like going out there and marking you as spam, depending on what your video is, right? If it's really a video coming from contribution out there to help people, or like your team members are saying, hey, my team made this video to help people, in this niche or whatever, take a look or whatever, something like that. That's, I don't think, as likely to get flagged as a video that's like by my house, right? So you absolutely, the functionality is there that you can go straight from YouTube to Facebook and, well, not Instagram, but LinkedIn, stuff like that. One of the things on Instagram is that you cannot link videos. So you won't have that option to link in. You'll have to have the original file to add to Instagram if that's how you want to go at it. You can absolutely, like you said, put the video on your business page and just share from the business page. And that will help with compliance too, because your business page is already compliant, right? So there's a lot of different ways to share it. And this is actually going to tie into what Diane brought up at the beginning, is what do you write when you're sharing about these videos? So you always want to have some sort of hook. And this is the same thing when you're formatting your videos and everything. When you're writing out your scripts or anything, you want to have a hook right at the beginning of either text about it or actually in your video. So when you're in your video, you want to be able to grab their attention right away, tell them what the video is about, and get right into it. People ask me all the time, how long should my video be? It should be long enough to cover the content, but short enough to not get into all kinds of extra stuff that people don't care about. Stick to the content that you told them you were going to be providing. If you're, all of a sudden talking about, so I talked about the blinds for my lighting. If I started talking about what type of blinds they were and, how we installed them and all that, people don't care. That's not about lighting. Stop talking about that, right? So that is something huge when you're doing videos, is to make sure you stick to the points that you told the people you were going to be sticking to. And that's the same thing for your YouTube channel. If you tell somebody your channel is about ABC, don't be talking about XYZ on your channel. They're going to unsubscribe, or they're going to scroll past your videos, and then that's not going to do well for you in the future, because YouTube's going to see that your subscribers aren't even watching your videos. Why should they recommend your videos to somebody else? So stick to the content you told them you were going to provide. So then when you're sharing it out, do your little hook. You're going to want to make sure that it's whatever you're saying about the video is telling them what the video is about and how it's going to benefit them. They don't care why you made it. They don't care, what you did to make it. They want to know how it's going to help them. Why should they be watching this video? And yes, you can absolutely use emojis. I wouldn't use a million. A couple of them here and there is good, because it shows as a little more authentic. It doesn't look like an advertisement, right? But if you go to the other extreme and you're using a million emojis, it looks spammy. it looks like a bot or something that's doing it. So yeah, it's totally fine to use emojis in your text there when you're describing your video. Patty, I saw you added a question here, so I'm gonna read that real quick. You can do a virtual first-time home. Oh yes, that was a good idea. You said that a little earlier. You can do a virtual first-time buyer's workshop with a lender. Yeah, don't forget about your referral partners and your allied partners out there. You can do videos together. If you're looking for content, go to your lenders, go to your attorneys, get tips from them, help promote them as well. And then chances are they're gonna put it on their social as well. So you'll get double exposure that way. So that's another way to get your content out there. And then at what production point can we afford to have a social media marketing person or VA? So you need to be making money before you're spending money, right? So I know you got to focus on your lead gen. Like always, it comes back to your lead gen. So it's one thing if you've got somebody that's, you know, a college kid or something that's wanting to help you out. And it's also another thing to have a little bit of investment in it, of course. But make sure when you're investing that you need to have the systems on the other side. So when the leads come in, you can handle capturing them and converting them. If you're pouring money into marketing, any kind of marketing, and you don't have a system on the back end, it's not going to do you any good because you'll never retain any of those customers. You'll never follow up with them. You'll never be able to convert them. You'll never be able to help them buy their home or sell their home. So make sure you have that system set up, or at least something that you're ready to grow a system with. And then always, you know, I always personally want to be, you know, as debt free as possible. So like my only debt is my house, right? I paid for my cars in cash, stuff like that. I would do that with anything I could going forward. So don't necessarily go and like open a credit card just to go buy all this equipment. So wait till you have a closing, set a little bit aside, wait till you have a closing, set a little bit aside, save up for the equipment. When you earn it, that's when it's time to go get it. You have a smartphone. You have the sun, right? Maybe buy a $20 lavalier mic, right? Don't go crazy. Let it bring the business to you and start there. You don't need to spend $2,000 on video equipment to make a video. I'm making a video on my laptop that I have already owned for 3 years, right? You've got the resources. Stick to those until you actually make some money to go invest in upgrading. That sound good? Great stuff, thanks. Yeah, you're welcome. Then we also said, should we be putting videos on our websites too? So depending on your website, so the Keller Williams website, it's not super easy to upload videos. You can do it in landing pages, and that's a great idea. I have a lot of agents that do that. So you can make landing pages for all sorts of different things. The most frequently I see them for properties, right? Or information about towns, and you can embed a video right in there. So you could use the landing page widget to do town information and put your video about the property in there and share that with the world. So that's a great way to put that into a website type thing, not necessarily a full website, but a web page, I guess. If you are wanting to dig into it, there are ways to get videos into your KW site. If you have a third-party site, there's probably you know, an easy way to upload videos, so you can definitely do that. Or just direct people to go to a YouTube channel or the video section on your Facebook business page, or to find you on Instagram. So wherever your videos are, if you don't want to have to upload them in all these different places, make sure that all your platforms have a way for them to direct them to where your videos are living. That could save you some time too, so you don't have to put it in, you know, 5 different platforms. Put it in your email signature, tell them where they can find you. Oh, I can't think of the name of it off the top of my head. There is, because we were talking about Instagram, there is a way, I'll think of it, I'll put it in the description of the video. There's a system that you can use, so you can put one link in your bio, and there's a platform that will let you put all of your links in that one link. So that's a good tip too. I just can't think of what the name is off the top of my head. I'm not prepared. But we've got 3 minutes left, and I don't want to just keep rambling on here. I do have it 2 o'clock, so is there anything else I can answer before we hop off today? Okay, so we talked.
Linktree?
Go ahead. What was that?
Linktree?
Yes, thank you. A Linktree. See, this is why we keep you around, Patty. She's rolling her eyes at me. All right, well, you guys, we covered a ton of stuff today. I'd be happy to dig into this again some more in the future if you guys want to do more specific topics. Like I said, I'm in that YouTube coaching program, so I'm always learning new fun stuff. We're back to 1 o'clock. So next Thursday, we'll be back here doing, I will be doing an official, like a Master Your Marketing, a class style session on social distancing client events, whether it's virtual events or how to be do a safe event in person. So we'll be talking about that, and then the next week we'll do Q&A specifically around that topic as well. So let's see, you guys, we talked about how to get over being camera shy. You know, practice. It's just like scripting, right? With your teammates or your co-brokers and everything. You got to practice. You got to get in front of the camera. Go on Zoom and just talk to yourself, right? So how to get over camera shyness. We talked about equipment, getting started. Don't go into debt for your equipment. Some video apps we talked about. Canva, you can use Adobe Pro, the apps on your phones, different portals, lots of tools we talked about today. And then just some free tips on how to get good lighting and better sound, right? I think we did a lot. You guys are great. Well, thank you so much for watching and participating. Remember, you can always comment on the video on YouTube as well. You guys can always email me or find me on social to reach out if you have other topic suggestions that you would like to cover in future sessions too. I'm always open.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you next week.